Well, good morning. Portland Police Sergeant Pete Simpson is here to give us an update. We do know that the suspected shooter and this officer-involved shooting has been taken into custody. Pete, this morning, please give us an update on how that officer is doing, and what do we know about the suspect?
Right now, we have good news to report. The suspect was taken into custody about 20 minutes ago. He was located in the 6900 block of Southwest Olson Road, so some distance from here. We knew the suspect was on foot, we knew the suspect was moving, and 911 calls from neighbors were critical to us being able to track down his location. That suspect is being transported to a Portland hospital. He is conscious, talking, does have some injuries. I don't know if they are gunshot injuries or injuries he sustained while running from the police. The officer is continuing to recover at a Portland hospital. He's at Legacy Emmanuel. He's in very good spirits, but certainly recovering from his injuries at this point. The officer is assigned to the K-9 unit, and as such, we are continuing to look for the officer's K-9 partner. The dog is unaccounted for at this point. We believe the dog may be injured in the exchange of gunfire. So we are asking residents near the initial scene at Capitol Highway and Lobelia in that immediate neighborhood to give us a call if they have any information or see anything. This dog is a German Shepherd. They're fairly large. He is wearing a police tactical vest and markings, and it should be very obvious he's a police canine. Right now we are shifting into the investigative phase, so we are closing down the tactical side of this shortly. There are no outstanding suspects. There is no outstanding risk to the community. The detectives are arriving, and we will begin the investigative phase of an officer-involved shooting to go back to the very beginning to figure out what led up to this entire incident.
Pete, how was the suspect taken into custody? Did he surrender?
He was contacted by officers from the CERT team who are doing a search in the area after receiving a 911 call. They encountered him, challenged him at gunpoint. He complied, was taken into custody without incident.
Did they recover a weapon?
We are continuing to look for his rifle and any other weapons he may have had. We do have an active article search in the area for those things. Certainly if any neighbors came out and found a gun in their yard, we would want to know that, or any property that maybe doesn't belong there, any clothing or anything, but primarily firearms. We are working on that right now.
Have you guys been able to positively identify him?
I haven't been able to give his ID yet or verify his identity. We had a tentative ID earlier. I don't know that that's been verified.
The incident that started with the traffic stop, do we have any update about that? What started all this?
You know, I don't have any updates really on the initial incident. There was a traffic stop at right about Lobelia and Capitol Highway that preceded the shooting. I don't know what the stop was for or what they were investigating. That information will come a little bit later as detectives are able to start doing interviews and figuring out what led up to the incident.
Did he have any other weapons with him?
I'm not aware of any other weapons on him when he was taken into custody.
Can you describe that incident, the circumstances around taking him into custody? Where was he exactly? Was he in the yard?
He was found, I don't know if he was in a yard or on the sidewalk or street out there, but 6900 block of Southwest Olson Road, 6900 block, which is, quite a distance from here, but he's had the ability to move for the last couple of hours. And again, calls from the public were critical to us knowing where to go because we were working very hard in an area that we last saw him in. Those calls led us other directions, which ultimately led to his custody.
What types of things were people seeing? What were they calling in? Did he go into anybody's home?
I don't believe he went into anybody's home. People reported seeing a man walk down the street. I believe there may have been one where they saw a man that was carrying something. Perhaps they saw some of the initial reports about this incident and then put two and two together. I don't know that yet. We will have interviewed, or we'll be interviewing them just to track everywhere that he went so we can ensure that we recover the firearm.
Have any other suspects been taken into custody?
Nobody since the shooting. I don't know about if people have been detained from the car yet. I haven't worked that backwards.
As far as closures, what do neighbors need to know here?
So Capitol Highway is still closed, essentially, from north of Taylor's Ferry up to past Lobelia, which towards Multnomah Boulevard. That will probably remain closed. It'll be smaller than it is now, but it'll remain closed for quite a while as we go into the investigative phase. We have the officer-involved shooting traffic stop phase. We have the attempted aggravated murder of a police officer to investigate. We have the track between here and where he was taken into custody. We want to recover the firearm. And certainly right now our primary focus is finding our canine officer, a dog, who is loose and possibly injured.
What about the officer? Can we talk about how many times he was shot or where in his body yet?
You know, at this point, not ready to release any medical information. I can say that he is in very good spirits, considering the circumstances. His primary concern right now is for his dog. He is very concerned about his dog. His family's with him at the hospital. He's doing very well, expected to make a full recovery. You know, right now, as for privacy, certainly he has more family to contact. And, you know, an incident like this is incredibly difficult for all the officers, certainly the officer involved. But his concern right now is for his canine partner who's out there.
This is quite an ordeal. Dozens of police out here from multiple agencies. You've got an officer shot, a gunman on the loose. What can you tell us just in general about this morning and what an ordeal it's been for you guys?
Well, certainly we have dozens of officers here from not only the Portland Police Bureau, but a lot of partner agencies who, without hesitation, rushed to offer their assistance. We have officers from Washington County, Beaverton, Multnomah County, Sherwood, Tualatin. Portland Fire and Rescue is here. They provide medics for our CERT team. Our air support was up. Something like this happens and you get that call, no matter where you are, where you work, and you're going to come and help and do whatever you can. So it's been a tremendous effort by all law enforcement here today. And it will continue to be as we go into the investigative phase.
Pete, you said that this officer is with the K-9 unit. Can you describe the relationship that these officers have with their K-9? I understand that they live with the officer.
They do. These K-9 officers, their dogs are a part of their family. They are working partners. They are working police dogs, very well trained, but they are also a member of the officer's family. They go home with them, they live with them, and when they're done working, often they become a part of the family in retirement. And so they have a very close relationship with their canine partners, and you know, certainly the community, it resonates with the community when our dogs are out and about. They always generate a lot of public interest, and people like to see the dogs, you know, like to see the horses and any animal we have working for us. So right now, that's our focus, and we really want the community's help. If they see or hear anything that sounds like an injured animal in their yard, we need to know. We do have our other canine officers right now working the area trying to find the dog.
Do you know if they were by themselves when the exchange of gunfire occurred?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know who was at the scene at the time. That'll be part of the investigative phase. You know, from a procedural standpoint, an officer involved in a shooting will be placed on paid administrative leave, which is standard procedure. Certainly his primary thing to do right now is recover, and that's what we wanted to do. Once that's complete, detectives and our investigative side will move in and do the normal investigative procedures. You know, but it's a good news morning. The officer is okay. The suspect's in custody, and now we want to find the dog that's still out there.
Once again, can you just kind of talk about if people see anything suspicious, articles of clothing or this AR-15, what should they do immediately?
Yeah, primarily if you see a gun laying in a yard, which is what we're looking for, call 911. If you see our police dog or injured animal, you're hearing something like that, call 911. We do have officers here ready to go deal with those things immediately. But most importantly, there is no public risk to the community, no public risk to school kids that'll be getting up to go to school soon. The schools will be operating normally. We may have some officers go to the schools just to provide a calming presence, you know, in the neighborhood schools.
All right, that is an update from Sergeant Pete Simpson. The basic of that, the wrap of that, we do know that he was taken, the suspect was taken into custody. The officer is getting medical treatment. He is in good spirits, doing well. Police say that, again, right now, if you see anything suspicious, including the gun, the AR-15, you are urged to call 911 immediately. And also keep an eye out for that officer's K-9 unit. That dog is missing. They are looking for that dog. If you see it, call 911. We'll send it back to you in the studio.